Here are 12 cultural shocks I experienced after moving to Canada. The first is labor is expensive in Canada. So there is high value placed on skill. So if you know how to style hair or cut hair, you get a good value for your skill in Canada. So you tend to make more if you have a personal skill that's lucrative, but then if you need that service, you tend to pay more. The next cultural shock I experienced in Canada is Canadians are kind and friendly. Like in some countries, you just don't get people smiling at you when you pass by them on the street or offering to take your pictures or letting you cross even if they have the right of way. Canadians tend to be friendly and kind. They like small talks. Another cultural shock I experienced as an international student is international students pay almost three times what domestic students pay. So I know that education in Canada is expensive, but there's a huge gap between domestic fees and international student fees. Another cultural shock I experienced, especially when I tried to get a loan to help with my tuition, international students are not offered student loans. That was something that was shocking to me, especially because we pay almost four times what domestic students pay. Another cultural shock that I experienced in Canada is the credit system. Canada's economy is built on a credit system, meaning everyone has to have a credit score and a good credit score, especially when you want to make very important purchases like buying a house or buying a car. I have a video that talks about building your credit score and how you can get your credit score up or maintain your credit score. Please check that video out. Another cultural shock I experienced in Canada was the thorough education system. Canadian teachers tend to go deep into studies compared to some superficial teaching methods. Another cultural shock I experienced is the cost of living. The cost of living in Canada is relatively higher than neighboring countries like the US. So houses vary largely in price compared to the area we're looking at in the States. Food and clothing, they're all higher than some countries that are surrounding Canada. Another cultural shock that I experienced is immediate cash when you recycle your bottles. So this one was a bit exciting for me. I found that when I gather my plastic bottles and take them to the nearest bottle depot, provided they pass the criteria for recycling. It's not every bottle that you can recycle. Some you just have to throw away in your home. And if these bottles pass the requirement for which they can be recycled, they will give you cash immediately. I think for a 1 liter bottle, you can get about 20 cents, but the money increases very fast when you have a lot of bottles to recycle. Another cultural shock I experienced in Canada is the free healthcare. Now, free healthcare is really free. So I just had my first baby. I came out of the hospital with $0 bill. So the free healthcare in Canada is a really good deal. Of course, the system is not set up for it to be free. Taxpayers' money go into these amazing services. Another cultural shock for me in Canada was that the pathway to PRO is relatively simple. So for students who do a quick course as an international student with high tuition fees can easily switch to permanent resident where they can pay local fees. Of course, this can take a number of years, from 5 to 7 years. Another cultural shock I experienced in Canada is that Canada is dependent friendly. So if you want to bring in your family members, your brother, your sister, your parents, your grandparents, there are a lot of pathways that allows you to reunite with your family. I have a video on all the pathways available for Canada for you to bring in your family members. And last but not the least, cultural shock I experienced after moving to Canada was how lonely Canada was. Canada can get quite lonely. It's you have almost 8 months in the winter where everybody's mostly indoors or goes to work and come back, mind their business quietly, and just come back into the house, quietly. People don't really associate in the winter except you go into indoor places where they have activities going on. But Canada can get quite lonely. So I definitely recommend that you make friends in school if you're an international student. Definitely join small group that are surrounded around your interest. I'm a Christian and I join little small Christian groups in my school, and I was able to make friends, long time friends. I also joined a local church where I met other immigrants and was able to make friends. But in general, I don't think you can just make friends randomly in Canada, except the city you're living in has programs available for that. The city you're now living has a program in the library where you can meet other people and make friends, newcomers in Canada and whatnot. But I think I'm going to do a stretch and say nobody really explains how cold Canada is. Canada is very cold. So definitely when you're coming, you need to get good sweaters, good jackets, and if you can't get them from your home country, when you get to Canada, make sure to purchase very nice ones that will last you for years. But thank you for watching this video. Check out my other videos, especially the one about building your credit score. I'll see you next time. Thank you.